Brianna Turner has signed with the Indiana Fever per the WNBA transition page. Some depth for the Fever front court. She played for, again, I believe she played for Chicago.
Angel Reese didn't take it lightly when Brianna Turner passed on the Chicago Sky to join Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. Reese was clearly upset and made sure everyone noticed. "Oh, so this is what we're doing now," she said, trying to sound playful, but her side-eye and forced laugh gave her true feelings away. You could practically hear the bitterness. "Seems like loyalty has an expiration date. True to form." Angel turned it into a moment, and behind the humor, it was clear she was hurt. WNBA Twitter, of course, devoured it like free popcorn at a game.
You don't get told no. Like, you're going to get the yeses. You're going to get more yeses than nos, and just being able to know that. So I'm excited for that. I know that's going to come soon.
This wasn't just any free agent making a choice. This was Brianna Turner, an all-WNBA defensive first-team veteran and someone who could have brought stability to the struggling Sky. Instead, she went straight to Indiana, putting Reese on notice. Turner even took a pay cut to join Indiana, passing up a bigger offer from Chicago. For Angel Reese, who's still trying to position herself as the face of the league, watching a key player choose a so-called rival hits differently. And let's be honest, that rivalry exists only in Reese's imagination.
WNBA free agency is officially underway, Annie. So when you see these names and the options that the Sky have, what do you think that they're cooking up?
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Because Angel and Camilla are very interesting pieces. And when you're talking about, getting the right players in here, there is intrigue when you have young core pieces like that, because you could be part of developing them and developing towards a title contending season. But the reality is the Sky are still very far from that. And so this year, the focus really has to be on getting players in who are going to bridge that gap between this season and next.
Reese tried to play it cool with her usual social media act, but the cracks were obvious. Her short, simple tweet said it all. She was furious. And honestly, it's understandable. First, Asia Wilson was already worried as the Fever started shaping up into what looked like an Avengers-level squad, and now Reese had to face it too. It seemed like every top-tier free agent looked at Chicago, then at Indiana, and thought, yeah, I'll go play with Caitlin.
Breaking news came down, so we have to discuss it. This is what we do here. We're talking about the Indiana Fever making yet another move, Alicia, because they're Thanos right now and they're collecting all the Infinity Stones.
Meanwhile, in Indiana, it was all celebration. Brianna Turner was welcomed with open arms. Aaliyah Boston kept it cool with a simple tweet, "Let's hoop," carrying the kind of confidence that says they know exactly what they're building. Sophie Cunningham was likely grinning from ear to ear, probably already imagining the first time she gets to push back against Angel Reese on the court after a tough play. This Fever squad isn't just stacking talent. They're forging chemistry even before stepping into the gym.
So, in a kind of a surprising turn of events, the Indiana Fever have made yet another move this offseason, and they have signed Bree Turner to the roster.
But here's the bigger picture. This isn't just about one player choosing a team. This signals a shift. The WNBA isn't merely growing. It's turning into a full-blown spectacle. Players are realizing that Indiana has become the place to be. For Angel Reese, it's looking like a nightmare. While she's out there trying to sell the idea that Chicago is next, her teammates and potential recruits are quietly thinking, nah, we're good.
30 pieces that Stephanie White and Amber Cox is going after. They're going after ready elite talent, kind of, they know their responsibility. They know what they need to do. You know what I'm saying? They don't really have to do a whole lot of coaching like that, teaching plug-and-play pieces and women that are going to come in and make immediate impact. That's what you want to see from this basketball team. That's what you see from elite teams across the league.
The offseason isn't even over, and it already feels like the Fever came out on top in free agency. Angel Reese might need to start playing recruiter, but there's one problem. All the top stars are already off the board. Social media was buzzing with blunt takes. Fans were basically saying, keep Angel Reese and her missed layups. We got Caitlin Clark. The disrespect was loud, ruthless, and honestly a little deserved. What exactly was Chicago's comeback plan? Their free agency tracker looked more like a missing persons report. Marina Ma left mid-season, Kennedy Carter wasn't re-signed, and Diamond DeShields opted for Connecticut over Chicago.
So, lads, this is not great news, for the Chicago Sky, who are a team that obviously, look, they're rebuilding. This is a team that is 100% rebuilding. The problem is they don't own their pick. So, if the Chicago Sky run it back, they're probably not making the playoffs next year. Look, I think there's going to be an improvement from Angel Reese. I think it's going to be an improvement from Cardoso. But that team with no Kennedy Carter, it's going to be real tough to get any offensive power.
From Chicago's starting lineup, only Reese and Camila Cardoso remain. Sky fans were scrolling through their phones wondering, wait, who did we even sign? Meanwhile, teams like New York were flaunting their super team status, and the Aces were holding tight to their dynasty core. Chicago, by comparison, looked like they were cobbling together a junior varsity squad.
It is funny that all these people who hated the Indiana Fever last year is finally coming around to sign with the team. Go figure. Now, I don't know the whole initial thing about this signing, maybe for depth, defensive purposes, but it is funny to see how what a year make when the Indiana Fever is one of the, not one, but is the top team.
The frustration was real. Every time Fever fans shared a lineup graphic, Sky fans had to close the app just to save their sanity. What were they even supposed to say? Trust the process? That's cute for NBA Twitter, but in the WNBA, you either build the right way or you get left behind. And right now, Chicago looked like they were about to be left in the dust.
Indiana Fever are officially title contenders. Every day they have something new for us in free agency. And today, it's Miss DeWanna Bonner. Six-time WNBA All-Star and WNBA champ, a veteran in this game, can pretty much do it all. Also an enforcer, nasty defense. Should I continue? We have a new starting five. Caitlin at the 1, Kelsey at the 2, DeWanna at the 3, Natasha Howard at the 4, and Aaliyah Boston at the...
Of course, Angel Reese wasn't going to let her pride take a hit without pushing back. She launched into her familiar underdog speech. I thrive when people doubt me. Maybe she really does, and maybe next season she'll dominate every defender in her path. But let's be honest, thriving on doubt works for a solo player, not a team sport. Right now, her team looks like it's just one rolled ankle away from a full-blown disaster.
What Steph White is doing and what the Fever organization is doing is nothing less than phenomenal, in my opinion. They are taking this young, talented core that they have, with Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark, and they're adding veteran players that Stephanie White has already worked with. Let's talk about that too, and has chemistry with and knows the work ethic of. And they are building this super team, make no mistake about it, that is going to give you instant results.
While Reese talks about proving doubters wrong, Indiana is making moves like they have a personal vendetta against the rest of the league. Fever GM Amber Cox and head coach Stephanie White didn't just spot potential in Caitlin Clark, they saw a championship window opening and jumped in headfirst. Gone are the days of we're rebuilding, or just give it time. This team is built to win now, and every move they've made this offseason shows it.
Sydney Colson is a two-time WNBA champion, a true vet, an amazing backup point guard. And anytime that CC or any of the guards need to go to the bench, Sydney Colson always makes the right call, always makes the right decision. So to pick up a vet, a professional like Sydney Colson, and then you also have a vet like DeWanna Bonner, and you also have a vet like Kelsey Mitchell, and then you have CC and Aaliyah Boston and Lex.
Angel Reese is trying to prove doubters wrong, but Indiana Fever is quietly building a powerhouse. With Caitlin Clark leading, veterans like Natasha Howard, Diana Taurasi Bonner, Brianna Turner, and Sophie Cunningham joining, and rising stars like Aaliyah Boston, this team has depth, leadership, and chemistry. Chicago and other contenders are scrambling, while the Fever skipped the rebuild and went straight to championship mode. Fans are buzzing, free agents are flocking, and the league is taking notice. This isn't a Cinderella story, it's a well-constructed empire. Meanwhile, Reese's hustle alone can't keep Chicago competitive.